Hello, hello. Hope you can hear me. Does the sound work good? Let's hope so. All right, a bit more Zig Dev today. Um, it is past midnight. Oh, 15 to 1. So I won't be for long, but I just want to show some things around and hopefully I can get some stuff done. Uh, Let me just share some. Okay. Yeah, everything seems to be working. No crackling. That's good. Uh, all right. Let me begin. So, uh, on the last podcast, it's not a podcast. It's a stream. On my last stream, what I did was I was updating some. I updated one project to 0.15.1 from 0.13. So converted Zigline from 0.13. So that was, I had to change a few things, but it worked in the end. Um, and yeah, I can actually show it off one more time. Let me go straight into CD, what is it, Zig-like. There should be a bin folder. Nope, there is no bin. There's a zig out, right? That's a classic one. And then there is, yeah, the bin folder is in zig out. And then there should be the 7DRL game. So if I start it, you can see the game here. Let me zoom in a bit. Can you see the game? Yeah, you should be able to see it. All right, so yeah, this is like a classic roguelike. Wait, let me also turn on. I don't need to have OBS running in the background. Let me actually turn on the chat because I haven't done that. Stream manager. Let me actually. Oh yeah, and I need to turn off the sound. All right, so. This is a roguelike I made in Zig some time ago, but I only updated it a few days ago. And the thing is that it is basically like a classic roguelike. You can move around, you can hover over things. Well, of course, this character is your character. You move around with WASD as classic, and yeah, these are messages, and you can even repeat if you just, and this is just some debug text, but there was a few other things that I had to do, that I could do, and that is all the way in the corner. Unfortunately, this is like a debug scene, so it's not, nothing works. Yeah, there it is. There's a few things that you could do. There is, oh, I just noticed that this font, Fira Code, is actually messing up with everything. So like if I interrupt these dots here, there's going to be a 3-dot like a ligature, which Fira Code has. That's weird. Yeah, anyway, so the text changes as you're walking over it. Oh, and even this one, these are the equal signs. But if there's three equals, then it turns into a three-line equals. That's funny. Yeah, so this, for example, is a bomb. You can take it with space, and you can drop it somewhere. For example, here, and then 4, 3, 2, 1, and boom. Yeah. So yeah, it's basically like turn-based. As you can see, you're just moving around, and that's how time passes. These are buckets. You can put buckets. You can pick up water, but I don't have any water here. And this is cement. So you can pour water over cement to create a wall, except that I don't have any water. But yeah, it was just a small like roguelike game that I wanted to make for 7-day roguelike. And then I updated it to 0.15, and that was fun. And yeah, there was no much of a difference. I just had to update the build script. I had to change the writer to use an interface as it does now, and that was kind of it. And there was only one function that changed, and that was like what was the one? The bytes. You like there was no read bytes anymore. There was like read short slice or something. Yeah, that was the only confusing thing. Okay, let's exit this game. I'm gonna remove this terminal, and what are we gonna do today? So, yeah, last time I converted Ziglike to 0.15, and the second thing I did was I also showed Dronesim, which is this new project I started a few days ago, which is, let me show you, it is where, oh, I don't have it on here, so I'm just gonna go to repos, Dronesim, and let's start code. Well, it's not VS Code, it's Codium, but yeah, this is the Zig project. And if I start it, let me Zig build run. I could have Zig build run even, up there in the terminal, but yeah, doesn't matter. Yeah, if you run it, there it is, and it's a 3D environment. You can fly around, tilt, flies like a little FPV drone, and the idea for this game is to make a little open source FPV simulator. That's it, basically. Okay, so what is it using? It's using Sokol as a graphics backend. So what is Sokol? Sokol is a cool little graphics abstraction that can build into anything that is native for that platform. So it can build Vulkan or DirectX on Windows, or it can do WebGL or WebGPU even if it is not supported by most browsers yet, but it has that ability, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so I wanted to, my shakedown engine that I wrote in C++, it's using OpenGL, so I wanted to have something that is more abstract, and Sokol I think was the right choice. However, well, it's very lightweight, and the thing is that it's, by being lightweight, it lacks a few features, and those few features of Sokol, which I really need for this project, is that it is lacking gamepad support. So unfortunately, yeah, let me actually show you that. Yeah, Sokol, and by the way, Sokol, the cool thing about Sokol is it's written in C, but Zigbind is for Sokol. So this is the C version, right? And the cool thing is that it has official Zig bindings. written by the same guy who made the original C version. So it has really like easy tutorial how to run anything, and it has even some examples. But the coolest thing is that you can just look at any of the C examples and see how anything is done in Sokol. And for example, it has this the live samples on Wasm, which are pretty cool. And you can click on any of these and it's going to run straight in your browser, and they actually start incredibly fast, which is pretty cool. And this is the one that I actually used for this example, as you can see here. It looks familiar, right? This cube? Well, yeah, that is because I'm using this example as the starting point. Yeah, so as you can see, it has a lot of cool examples. It even has rendering of shadows, which I want to add at some point. Can you actually move around here? No, I don't see. Yeah, but I want to add some shadow rendering as well. Yeah, and it has imgui, which you can actually see in the game as well. Right now I only output some speed, but yeah, it is pretty cool. And what did oh, it does even have a GLTF version. Nice. Which I'm definitely going to need next to load anything. Yeah, and the cool thing is that like you can just look into how it's done. Yeah, it has some metallic, okay, structs in it. Yeah, you just set up CGLTF. That's pretty cool. Okay, yeah, I am going to need this for the next versions. But what you can see, there is also this little events demo. And if you enter this events demo, you can see that it has like key down when you're typing, when you're writing characters. For example, using arrow keys, those are not characters. Mouse down, mouse enter, you know, whatever, entering into the windows with the mouse. Those are great. It even has pasted clipboard, right? And it even has some, oh, it's snooping on your clipboard. Look at that. I was copying some build code. Anyway, quit requested. Yeah, it even has that. Resumed, suspended, blah, blah, blah. But what it's missing, as you may notice, is gamepad. So there's no, I have a Xbox 360 connected, but there is nothing. There is no input anywhere. Unfortunately, because turns out that Sokol doesn't have support for gamepads. And well, yeah, too bad. If you go into the issues and you look for gamepad, you are going to see that there is few open issues which say, wait, how can I support mouse button stay? I want to have gamepads. Where is it? Are the joysticks abstractions? And the Sokol author, Andre, says, eventually I want to add game support in a separate header, but for a while, maybe in the meantime, GA input is an alternative. Well, I didn't use GA input. What is this? It's archived. It's not maintained nor developed anymore. That's great. And everything is like 8 years old. Yeah, that's cool. And I have no idea. Yeah, this is actually, since it has namespaces, this is C++. This is not C, unfortunately. Yeah, so, and then someone here says somewhere that it was really easy to, I don't know what this is, Elanthus gamepad. I think maybe I tried to use this one, no? But, oh yeah, this is even older. This is 14, 15 years old. Windows and Linux library for gamepad. Yeah, whatever. But in one of these issues, I found somebody mentioned this one, libstem gamepad. This is a C wrapper, C API wrapper for OS X, Windows, and Linux. So it supports 3 platforms. The annoying thing is that the last thing is from 2 years ago, and then most of the stuff is just like 10 years ago. But anyway, at least it's something, right? And what I did is I cloned this repo. And then I managed to build it. Well, it was a little bit of a struggle because there were some errors. First off, for some reason, it was all the time trying to build a Linux 32 version, and I don't actually know why. Even though this is a 64-bit machine, I don't know why it was constantly doing Linux 32. So what I did in the end is it said Linux 32 here, and I tried to force it. I tried to do everything to do a Linux 64, but for some reason it was just always building 32 as well. And then in the end I just removed this one, and then finally it built. And well, actually it had a few more warnings. Which was the warning that was interesting? Yeah, it was this one. It was using calloc, but calloc had a opposite ordering of these parameters. So it had size of float first parameter, and the device record was the second parameter. That was weird thing, and I guess the order doesn't really matter because it will be multiplied in the end, but the compiler was erroring and it didn't allow me to build in the end. So what I did is I just swapped that, and then it finally built. And what you get here is you get a static library, and you get a you get an include, of course, which you can just drop in your C library into your C program, and you get this test harness thing. And what is test harness? Test harness is a little, wait, let me actually, libstem gamepad, yeah, it's this one, and you go to build test harness Linux 64, and when you start this test harness, it gives you a little OpenGL window, and in here you can actually see that, wait, can I rescale? No, I can't rescale this, so it's very small, but I hope you can see it. What you get here is you get this little display of your inputs. So I have the Xbox controller in my hands. If I go left and right, you can see here, it's like, and it even detected that it's Xbox 360. Moving the joystick around, moving the triggers, and pressing some buttons, you know, it will detect all the buttons. And yeah, that's pretty cool. Like, you have all the, what is this? Ah, the hat. It actually outputs on analog signal, which is interesting, even though it's not really analog. All right, so as you can see, it works, and I really want to now include it into my project. So this was my first test of course, what we want to do is we want to include the C library into Zig, right? And the annoying thing is that it has a make file, and you would need to rewrite the make file for the Zig build system if you really want to build it. But here's what I did. I actually just went and took this object file, the library that you get, the static library, which comes here, libstem gamepad.a, and I just copied it over, into Dronesim. As you can see, here is in dep's gamepad, and I have the include file, which is just copied the H, the header file, and then I have the static lib. And well, I wouldn't really stream this if I didn't make it. So I had a little bit of struggle trying to figure out if Zig can actually do this. And it turns out it can. The thing is that since this is 0.15, the tutorials all show some previous versions which had different functions. And I have to say that it's actually these things that you need. You have to include the path. You have to add the include path, which in this case is my dep's gamepad include. And to add the library, it used to have a link library function, but you don't actually link a library. You add object file, and you just give it a path directly. There are alternatives. You can create a module, but yeah, I don't think modules are the right thing for what I'm trying to do. So what I just did is I just directly included this. Well, the problem, of course, here is that this is not cross-platform. This is just for Linux. And to be honest, for now, I don't care. When I eventually build for Windows, and I want to eventually actually rewrite the make file so that I can include the C files directly and then build them for the game instead of just including them. But yeah, these two lines I added, and in main what I just did is I in the main Zig, yeah, this is physics, sorry about that. I just had this gamepad init function, and what gamepad init does is just initializes the gamepad. And if you look at, the cool thing is that we have this harness thing, and we can actually look into how they implemented all these callbacks. So everything actually works over callbacks, and here is the init gamepad, which just calls these functions: device attached, device removed, and these basically just how do you say, they hook the callbacks to these functions in the gamepad. So yeah, and then you get some nice gamepad movement detection on all the inputs, right? Okay, so as you can see here, it has Zig, it has built and run. So that means that, what is going on here? Okay, it is actually running, right? Yeah, it is running. Okay, as you can see, the game is running, it has built correctly, which is perfect. So that means the include and the library gets linked perfectly. So I want now, today, what is Dronesim? I did show that. Add gamepad support to the game from the C library. Okay, so that is my task today. So what are the other things that are mentioned here in the it does show these errors, but it does actually it's just VS Codium can't find it doesn't know actually how to use headers like the includes. That's the problem. Okay, so let's see. Device at index, process input. Yeah, the most important thing is that you have to call process input every frame or whatever you, yeah, it is using display function. So process events is basically like poll events, right? And do not support implicit function. Yeah, this is just annoying because it's actually it just means that it can't find a function. The errors don't mean anything, so don't look at that. Okay, so what's the first thing we want to do is, of course, we want to init everything, but I guess we want to call init after, since I guess that is it. Initializes gamepad library and detects initial devices. Call this before any other gamepad function other than callback registration functions. So yeah, if you need to register all the callbacks before calling gamepad init. Okay, right. So I guess that allocates some stuff. Okay, so let's go on and start getting stuff. I wonder if device attached is actually going to matter for me, or can I just do axis move right away? Yeah, let's do the attach at least. Button up, button down. I might not need the button down and button up because they're already, I think they're also already handled by Sokol. Anyway, let's start with the attach function. Okay, so this attach function takes an on device attached, and there is some void thing here. What the hell is this? Void star, and then there's a 0x1. So I don't understand what this is for. Let's go to the function and read registers function. This specified calling this function with a null argument will stop any previously registered callback from being called subsequently. Okay, I guess that's not the thread from which those functions were called. Okay, so I guess it's running on a different thread. The specified function will be called only during calls to gamepad init and gamepad detect devices. Okay. In the thread, okay, so yeah, gamepad init actually detects all the gamepads that are connected, I guess. But what is this context thing? I have absolutely no idea. I don't understand anything. What is a context? Is there any explanation for that? Context, it's mentioned 10 times, but it's only in these functions. There's no mention of context. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to use the same one. I don't know if this is some kind of an ID for the function. It's weird. Anyway, let's see how on-device detached is actually implemented. So it takes a struct gamepad device and a context. Let's see. There it is. Gamepad device is a struct. So how do you actually handle structs? I'm not sure. So let's just do that. On device attached. So gamepad dot on gamepad dot gamepad on device. What is it on device? No, it's not. A device attached func. Device attached func. There it is. Okay. So as we can see, the callback, it's an optional const function. Okay, so we have to meet this criteria for the function pointer. So it takes in a struct, a C struct gamepad device, a pointer to that, and an any opaque. And this any opaque is the context that we saw earlier. So yeah, let's make a function like this. And we're going to call it on device attached. Let's do just gamepad on device attached. And now we're going to pass in this kind of a struct gamepad device. I wonder if this is called struct gamepad device. It is. Okay, so we can just, I guess, do that. Well, here's the thing, I can just copy this. So that's a C pointer to the struct gamepad and an opaque, and of course we're going to give names to this. Context, and this one is a callback, I guess, some kind of a callback. All right, so if we have that, then we can just pass this one inside here, and it returns a void, right? That's also important. And we have an any opaque of context. And can I just pass in a null? Maybe. We'll see. We'll see if that works. No. Oh shit! Sorry, I was just checking the stream if everything is running fine. Okay. Struct gamepad device. And yeah, how do we actually declare this one? Okay, let's see if I can actually. Yeah, I don't. I don't need to declare. I can just struct. Let's see, gamepad struct gamepad device. Let's see if, or can I just. Yeah, this should be gamepad dot struct gamepad device. Okay, and if I take the callback, no, let's try. There it is. Okay, does actually show me. Cool. Device ID, description, vendor ID. Okay, so I can actually display some data, right? So if the device is attached, what I can do is I can say, let's do log info, and we're gonna do some stuff. What is it? Let's look at. So what can I do? Description. Let's do the description. Yeah, device ID, number of axes, number of buttons. Okay, let's do this. Like name, some string. Okay, number of buttons, and we're gonna have some number, number of axes, and blah blah. Okay, so for the beginning, let's just do this. So we have the callback. We have the. Oh yeah, this is not a callback. This is the gamepad. This is the device. Let's call it device. It doesn't make sense to call it a callback. Callback is this. This is a device. Okay, so device dot. We have to, since it's an optional, we have to unwrap it as well. So I guess we do. Yeah, it's a C struct, so I guess it needs to be cast. Yeah, this C pointer can be null, so I guess we need to unwrap it, right? And then we can do something. We can ask for the name, right? It does have. Oh no, it does have a description, right? Is this going to work? Let's see. Description. Okay, vendor ID. Yeah, let's go for num axis and num buttons. I don't know why device num axis and device num. Oh yeah, and we need to num buttons. I don't know why this doesn't work. Okay. Let's actually put them like this. It's a little bit easier to see. But it is complaining about some things. Expected type const found C import. Expected type const function found. What's the difference? C import struct gamepad device any opaque void. What? I don't see the difference. What the hell is this? Star const function star C import star const function star C import struct gamepad device and any opaque at the end. Oh, colconv C, that's the difference. Found. So I do need to have a colconv as well. Very, very important. Okay. Colconv.c. There it is. Now it works. There it is. And what's the problem with context? The thing with context is that it's not used, and in Zig you need to use the context. You need to use every parameter. Okay, so there it is. Type does not support field access. Interesting. Why is that? Do you have to explicitly do this. Yes, so that's a mouthful. Okay, so I guess we need to dereference explicitly everything. What we could do is we could cast it into a zig pointer. Let's do like this. Is that gonna work? Device dot and can we actually cast it into a zig pointer? I don't think. C-struct. I wonder if there is a way to like avoid all of this view problem. Okay, yeah, this one is not used, but I think we can do that now. Can we? No. Does not support field access. Can we actually cast it into a normal pointer? I wonder. PTR cast. Like this. And I'm going to say it's a yeah, and it's going to say that it needs a, yeah, it must have a result type. Can we do this? No, can we do a pointer to gamepad struct gamepad device? Looks like it works. Yeah, so yeah, there it is. We have cast now device to the device pointer, and now we can just use it directly. Okay, well, hopefully that builds. Let's see. Okay, interacting with C code from Zig. Very cool. There it is. It works. And look at that. Look at that. We have info. Microsoft Xbox 360. Cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I was not expecting this to work right away. That's cool. Okay, I'm gonna like save this. Okay, cool. Nice. Right. So since we have that, we know that we have the 360 controller connected. Let's grab some inputs, since we can do that. We're not going to handle disconnects, because who cares? We're just going to crash the program. Okay, so axis move. Let's do gamepad axis move. We can do gamepad axis move func. And as we did there, we're gonna take this callback and we're gonna just copy this thing into a new function. Oh, we have a lot of numbers here. So we have a fun, and we're gonna call it gamepad on axis move. We have again the gamepad device like this. Yeah, I'm just gonna copy this one, and we also have the context again, but here we have a few numbers. We have a cuint. Let's see what it says. It doesn't have, interesting that it doesn't have any, yeah, and we're gonna do callconf c void, and that's it. And these numbers here, we don't have, what I was trying to say, we don't have labels. We don't have labels for the parameters. That's interesting. Yeah. And even in this callback, yeah, it looks like it doesn't get the parameter number names. So we're gonna have to look into the gamepad H and see what it says for axis move. Okay, there is a device, there's axis ID, value, last value, timestamp. Okay, so we have the, what is it? Axis ID, value, last value. Okay, axis ID, so this is the, I guess, number of the axis that's moved. We have the current value, we have the last value, and what is the F64? It's timestamp, right? Yeah, the timestamp, there it is. Yeah, I guess it will take the, yeah, because it can be polled, right? The input can be polled within a frame multiple times, so it needs to know when exactly has it been timestamped there. When did it happen? So let's see. What if I add comma here? Is it gonna? No, for some reason it doesn't work. It doesn't sort these vertically, format these vertically. Okay, and it doesn't matter. So let's output some stuff here. std log info, and let's say axis moved, and that's going to be the number of the axis. Last value, that one, let's say went from to, and then I'm going to show the other value. And yeah, that's going to be axis ID, last value, and value. Okay, so we're going to show these. And what does it complain about? Of course, it's complaining because I didn't add gamepad device move. And the context is, what if I just pass null for everything? I don't understand the context, what it means. Maybe it's gonna work, maybe it's not, we'll see. Okay, what's the problem here? Device is not used. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna use the device somehow. There we go. Okay, so let's build and let's see what happens now. Oh, the game is still running in the background. Cool. And I completely didn't push anything recently or commit. Unused function parameter. Interesting. The timestamp. Yeah, I didn't use anything. Timestamp, and let's do the context as well. Let me check something. Okay, so the formatting does work. Oh, formatting does work, but for some reason it doesn't work here. I thought this actually works. Oh, there it is. It did sort vertically. Cool. I don't know why it didn't work the first time. Okay, cool. So we have everything used now. We can rebuild, and let's see what it says. But of course, I'm just calling it once, which it didn't do anything. So yeah. So we have to call process events every frame now, and let's see what it will tell me. Let's go to the frame, and yeah, GUI new frame. Let's do it. I'm doing this input here. Let me say input, and I'm gonna call process events here. Gamepad process events. And I think it should be empty. Why does it have 3 dots? Probably because it has some process events. Yeah, is there something optional things? No, there is no. So I don't know why it put 3 dots in there. Okay, let's see if it's gonna output something. Axis move. There it is. It already. Yeah, there it is. It's moving. It's working. It's working. This is pretty cool. Okay, I'm moving. All the axes are being output. This is pretty cool. Okay, so let's try to make something with these inputs. Thing is that let me find out first which axis is moving. The first thing we need to know is we need to know what's connected, right? Which gamepad is connected, and let's see if I should use this struct gamepad device and just load it, right? Because this runs once. This runs once at the beginning. Well, we don't have this much. I have actually run a lot of iterations. So before we move anything, let's go back and let's see. Yeah, so it has only been called once, which means that I can safely add it to some kind of a list of devices, hopefully. Yeah, this would be interesting to test with a lot of devices. But for now, let's keep this inside a state. So I'm gonna say gamepad. Let's do one device for now. Gamepad. Whoops. Dot struct gamepad device, and I'm gonna, of course, I'm so used to see where type comes first. I'm gonna say attached gamepad or something like that, and that's going to be nullable because you can have it or not. And let's do this, and if one exists, I'm just going to set it. Variables must be initialized. Let's just say it's null at the beginning. So whenever we have this mention of the gamepad, I'm gonna say gamepad device attached, and I wonder if this is going to be the same pointer. If that's the same pointer, then we can just point into it. And I'm always getting this gamepad, so maybe I don't even need to save the device. Maybe I don't even need to save the device, right? But yeah, let's for now take the device. Attached gamepad is my device. Okay. Yeah, I still need to have the pointer here. Let me just gamepad device. Oh yeah. Actually, I'm gonna do it like this. And device pointer, and yeah, maybe I should keep the pointer after all. Hopefully it persists. Hopefully it is the same one. Let's just keep the optional pointer here. All right. There it is. Okay, that worked. Cool. So let me check if on axis move, just in case, if state attached gamepad is the same as device dot optional dot is it gonna work, right? If it is the same, let's just log info the same. Let's just test. That's the only reason. It doesn't let me do this. Incompatible types, which is C import. Incompatible types. This is an optional. Yeah, of course. I need to test if this one exists. It does exist, and this is a pointer, so it should. Aha. Okay. I don't want to dereference. I actually want to just see the pointer. There it is, and let's see. Is it the same? It is the same. Okay, so yeah, I guess the pointer doesn't change. Hopefully. Well, in this case, I don't detach the gamepad, so yet. So I don't care. I don't care yet. let's see, attached gamepad device. It's the same. I don't need to check this. Yeah, you know, since we are here already, let's just commit this. Am I in the Dronesim? Yeah, I am. I'm gonna use LazyGit. Ooh, I have a lot of stuff here. And I am going to add, for now, I'm going to add this gamepad lib, although you shouldn't be doing this. I'm going to do that. Okay, I'm going to say, should I make a new branch? Maybe I should. How do you make a new branch here? Shift B. No, it doesn't work. All right, let me just use, let me get out of here, and I'm going to say git switch B, I think, and we're going to call this one gamepad support. Unknown switch B. I don't think you actually have to C. Create branch. I was wrong. You want to create a branch, git switch C, and switch to the new branch. Okay, and now if I go to LazyGit, let's see what it says. Local branches gamepad support, that's it. And I'm going to commit, and I'm going to say initial gamepad support with libstem gamepad not cross platform yet. That's about it. Well, it's not support. I'm not going to say impl with output. Yeah, let's just do that. Commit, and I'm gonna push right away origin gamepad support. Yeah, let's create. Oh no, it's asking me for permission again. Let's not do this. No anonymous. Yeah. Okay. Let's just continue on. So yeah, we have this. We have the axis moved now, and what I can do is, yeah, I want to actually output this, all the inputs into the GUI. And where do I actually begin? There it is, ig begin. Okay, so in here, I'm gonna do add an ig test text, and let's do a slider. Is it just called a slider? Yeah, slider float. There it is, and I'm gonna label it with axis 1. Okay, for the beginning, let's do axis 1. Value is gonna be yeah, it needs to be a pointer to an F32, which I'm gonna make variable, although we're not gonna change it, but that's what ig requires. So I'm just gonna say this axis is axis 1. What is it? Oh yeah, I need to save it somewhere. That's the thing. I actually need to save it somewhere, right? Because I cannot query the gamepad device, right? It doesn't have, oh, it has axis states. Interesting. Axis states, and it has number of axes. Okay, let's try this. Let's try something. Let's try just getting the state gamepad, attached gamepad. It exists, right? Well, let's make sure that it exists. State attached gamepad. We're going to unwrap the optional with an if. So what we do is we have 2 bars, and inside that we capture the gamepad. And let's call it, unfortunately I have the type gamepad. You know, I think I made a mistake here by having gamepad. I think this needs to be a C import instead. Let's call this gpad. And then we're gonna just take the gpad values here. Why doesn't formatting actually work? It's weird. Okay, so instead of getting this unwrapping here, I'm gonna say gpad dot number of axis, and no, I'm just gonna grab the first axis, and that's a float, right? So axis 1, I'm gonna just take the pointer to that, pass it in. V minus I think should be -1, and this should be yeah, this should be that. Value of type bool ignored. Where is it? What is the bool? The bool is okay, I think this means like it has been used, but I'm not gonna use that. What is wrong with formatting? Why doesn't formatting work? Zig format off. So Sokol is using format off to render this, and there is a Zig format on. I noticed already that there is some, so that should work, right? I noticed that there is a lot of problems with formatting in this section. So as you can see here, this one, it should vertically arrange these. I don't know why it doesn't work. Also, I notice here it doesn't make them, it doesn't spread them out nicely. I don't know, what if I move this down? Nope, it still doesn't work. Do you have to move them outside? Oh, there it is. It actually worked now. Wait a minute. What is going on here? Okay, so I think what I did is, wait, so this didn't work. This worked. Okay, so apparently I had to move it outside of the brackets. So this is useless, right? Let me check. So yeah, it did not change, and then this one actually changed it, right? Yeah. Okay, so I guess you just need to move outside the brackets for Zig FMT to work. Oh, and it has actually changed a lot of things. Here, it added formatting here, it fixed formatting here, and what was here previously? I guess it was just ugly. Okay, unraveled this one. Yeah, now it formatted correctly. Create a box. Oh, there is actually a what the hell? Why did it not split here? Oh, I see. Vec3 new, and it's gonna be in line. Yeah, okay, well, at least formatting now works. Cool. Okay, let me get this back. Let me check what else is the problem. Okay, this has been unraveled, this has been improved. Cool, nice. Okay, so formatting now works, and there's a little bit of here. Yeah, cool. Okay, nice. Well, I fixed formatting. That's great. All right, let me see the axis outputs. Okay, so this should work. Let's see if I get this output in the GUI. Axis, there it is. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. It totally works. It doesn't go all the way to 1, -1 and 1, I guess. And there is a lot of noise, but I don't think, by the way, I'm looking here. I don't know if this is the problem with the controller, or maybe it's just completely unfiltered. So you might need to filter it somehow. I don't know. That's weird. Okay. So yeah, what I can do actually now is I can output all the axes by just getting the 4, and I'm gonna say 0 to gpad axis num axis, right? And that's gonna be, let's just do axis, let's call it like that. And well, no, let's call it I. Classic. So we can detect every I, and we can then take this and display it. The problem though is that ImGUI expects you to have a different name for each of the things. So what we are going to do is let's pass it. Can I do an std_fmt? I don't think that's gonna work. Buff print. I wonder if I can just pass in a buffer. Like I'm gonna make a buffer here, strbuff, and let's do one which is like, let's do zeros, and I'm gonna do what? I don't need more than 32 of U8s. I hope so. And let's do, yeah, now let's make it bigger. 64. That's enough for all your needs. Why would you ever need more than 64 bytes? Strbuff. I guess we need a pointer to that, or maybe not. Yeah, yeah. You need a slice, right? Comp time FMT. Yeah. I'm just gonna give it an FMT, which is gonna be axis, and then I'm gonna give it a number, and my number is gonna be I. There it is. All right. So hopefully that works. That's how you copy a string. Expected type cconst. Okay. Found error, no space left. Okay, so I guess I need to catch unreachable this. And what I get back is a slice. All right, so let me put that into a slice. Stir slice. And this needs to be a catch unreachable, because I don't take any errors in my main function. And I'm going to pass the stir slice into this, and will it coerce into a pointer? Nope, we need to get a dot putter. And the problem here though is that I don't think this is null terminated, right? So what I need to do is I need to buff print z. Yeah, because ImGUI expects a null terminated string. So yeah, that's why you need to use the buff print with a 0 terminated string. All right, let's see if this is going to work. So that should output like axis 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully that works. Nope, there is an error. Expected tuple. Do I have an error here? Okay. Writer zig, expected tuple or struct argument found usize. Aha, the problem is that this is a usize. Tuple, oh yeah, classic. I do need to take it a tuple, or an by tuple it means anonymous struct, basically. tuples are anonymous structs, basically. Okay, there it is. And here we go. We have all the access output, except that I can't resize the window, or I can't move it. All right, so let's try to set the size as well of this imgui. Where is initializing the imgui? Yeah, ig begin, and does it actually take anything else? Flags, imgui flags. Ig, I think there's like next window size or something. Ig, okay, come on, help me. Window size. Set window size. Set next window size. I think this is the one. So you need to take, it needs to take a struct, which is an imvec. I think you can just do this, right? Yeah. So I'm going to take 100 and I'm going to take 0 for y. What is a cond? Imgui cond. I have no idea what cond is here. Let's go to set next window size. Ah, it doesn't have anything. Great. Okay, I guess we need to get it to the demo, but let's put 0 here. No, let's make it bigger. Let's make it 400. Well, that's going to cover half of the... Okay, 300 maybe. There it is. We can see all the numbers, and we can see which ones... Aha, the axis 2, it goes from -1 to 1. That's cool, and there is a little bit of a slack at the end. However, the joypad doesn't actually go all the way to -1, it looks like. I mean the stick. This is the lower stick. It's weird. Axis 2 is actually the left trigger, and axis 5 is the right trigger. That's so strange. And then you have the right stick is axis 3 and 4, and left stick is 0 and 1. That's strange. Okay, so now that we have this, let's use axis 5 for throttle. So since we have this, let me just copy this, and I'm gonna get that into this thing. We have the input axis there. Okay, so if state is attached, let's make this var. Let's make everything into a var, and if there is an attached gamepad, I don't want to do for each. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab... Yeah, I need to check that it's an Xbox 360. And how do we do that? I don't know. How do I make sure that it's a Xbox 360? I would need to have some kind of a config file. But yeah, in this case, let's assume that y_asl is gonna be the, yeah, let's gpad axis states 5, right? But we need to remap it from -1 to 1. So how do you remap? Well, you remap by saying 1 plus, and then we divide it. Or multiply with 0.5, right? That's how we're gonna do that. Yeah, we already did this. So let's see if that works, right? And everything else. Interesting that it doesn't complain that pitch asl is const, should be const. So what are the other ones, right? We had 0 and 1 were the left stick, if I remember correctly. But yeah, let's for now take y asl. And yeah, since this is not, yeah, there it is. Now it works. Let's make it const quickly. Okay, so let's see if at least the throttle works. Yes, it does, and it's okay. It does work, but it's awful. God damn. And why does it go crazy at the beginning? I have no idea. Okay, so let's recap. Axis 0 is left, right. Axis 1 is pitch. So we need roll and pitch, right? No. What we actually need is yeah, I'm gonna do the roll, right? No, the roll is gonna be on the right stick. The left stick should be yaw. So yaw asl is gpad axis states 0, right? And what did we say? The trigger is 5. The left trigger is 2, right? We have 0, 1, 2, 3 is the right stick, but I don't know which one. Let's see. There is a bug somewhere. Cannot assign to a constant, of course. And for some reason it goes crazy in the beginning, and I don't know exactly why. Yeah, I don't know why. It's like it needs to be calibrated or something. Okay, so the yaw is flipped around. It should be the other way around, so it should be minus. Yaw minus, and yeah, let's see if let's see the other stick. So the x-axis of the other stick is 3 and the y is 4. So 3 and 4. 3 is roll, is gpad roll. Yeah, we don't have. It's 3, and pitch is axis states 4. So here we go. Hopefully that's it, but we have to make everything var now. And it goes crazy. All right, so okay, there it is. So roll is flipped around. Let's see, pitch is also, yeah, everything is flipped around actually. Everything is incorrect. I don't know what's wrong with the initial setup. Why does it go crazy in the beginning? Okay, there it is. So, yeah. So here we go. It's actually controllable. Actually controllable. But I do need to add some dead zone because it's way too sensitive near the middle. But it is kind of playable. It's totally playable. And there it is. You can even spin around. You can pitch up and down. I do have some control. So that's cool. Let's remove these prints because I think they're slowing down the game. That's in the callbacks. Which is, yeah, there it is, on axis move. Let's keep the, now I have to output everything. Gamepad on axis move. Yeah, you see, I'm not even using this one. I'm not even using the on axis move. Yeah, maybe I should just keep it this in the state instead of reading directly from the... yeah, and I think I'm gonna need to have the state anyway because... Yeah, because this is going to be... yeah, I'm basically not using anything, which is funny now. So what's the point of the callback? No, the thing I wanted to say is that I'm gonna need to add smoothing for sure. So that's the problem. So I'm gonna have to have everything in the state. Okay, oh wow, that works way faster now. And it is actually totally controllable. I get input every frame. That is super cool. It really feels like flying now, but it's it's so fucking sensitive. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna have to add configs for each of the controllers. Unfortunately. -1, 1. This is pitch. This is roll. This is yaw. Yaw is way slower. Yeah, the roll for sure needs... Roll and pitch need to have some dead zones. Some soft dead zones at least. And this... What is this axis? Oh, that's the vertical axis. That's way... Why is it jittery? Why is it so jittery? I have no idea. Okay, so axis 1 should actually be power on the real deal. But yeah, in this case I'm using a throttle, like throttle in racing games. But this is super cool. Yeah, it totally feels like flying now. All right, so yeah, we're gonna need to do some processing on this, but it totally works. Yeah, let me save this. Let me commit that. Working axis input. Okay, so that's one thing. Another thing, what I want to do is, yeah, let's add some dead zoning. And how do we do that? Well, I do want to add some curves. So, what I could do is I can just push away. Yeah, I need some math functions that I have in shakedown rally, but not here. Okay, let's do some maths. Let's say that this is going to be a dead zone. And we're going to take in an F32. We're going to use the dead zone. Yeah, let's say axis input here. Axis input. We're going to have a dead zone, which is an F32, and what's raw input here, F32. And the dead zone, what it does is that it pushes away. Okay, let me actually draw this. Do we have any kind of a drawing app here on Linux? Krita. No, I don't want to do Krita. Oh, you know what? I can actually use. I can take a screenshot. No, let's see. Online drawing. Auto draw. Can I just do this? Start drawing. Yeah, let's do that. Well, that's enough. So what I'm trying to do here is, let's imagine you have two axes, right? And my input goes from -1 to 1. And right now, if the mapping is correct, it goes from -1. So the raw axis maps to the real axis linearly, right? Like this. But what I actually want to do is not use a linear axis because it's too jittery. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to make a new one. Why doesn't it change the color of everything? What the fuck? This is so unuseful. Okay. I guess you need to... What the fuck is auto draw? I don't know. Okay. Yeah. So the thing is that what I want to do is I want to do something like this. Yeah, I said that it's jittery. So it's like it's going around here. And I have this micro input. What I want to do is I want to turn the curve into this. So what it does is that there is this dead zone in the middle. So if the input is jittery, it's still not getting any input, right? The input is zeroed. So how do we do that? How do we do that? Well, what I have to do is I have to offset this value by something like -0.1. And then I have to multiply by 1 minus 0.1, right? For example. I think that's the right thing. Am I correct? There also needs to be lerp. But yeah, so I'm going to return raw input minus dead zone. And then I'm going to multiply that by 1 minus dead zone, right? Or 1 plus dead zone. If this is 0.1, yeah, I need the 1 plus dead zone. I think that is correct, right? If it's 0.5, it should go from here, 0.5 to 1, which means that I need to put the line to 1, actually. It needs to start from 1. So that is not correct. This should be here. So I guess this should be by 2. Dead zone by 2. Since this is -1 here. And then I have to multiply by 2. Which is not 1 plus 0.5. It's actually 1 plus 0.5 by 2. And this needs to be a return an F32, of course. I think this is now correct, right? Let's try for something else. If I want to offset by 0.25, that means I need to have it at minus 0.5, which is 2 times 0.25, and I need to multiply by 1 plus 0.5, right? Yeah, I think that's the correct one. 1 plus, that's the correct maths for that, hopefully. Okay, well, what we can do is we can also like take the raw input and output the real input. So yeah, let's just process that with access input, and we're gonna wrap this inside here. And no, wait, I want to do this for roll and pitch, and let's say it starts from 0.2. Okay, there it is. Roll and pitch axis. Perfect. Yeah. So let's see. Is it actually? Is it? Ah, you know what? I completely forgot to handle the other side. Of course. So if it's on the other side, everything needs to flip. How stupid am I? All right. So yeah, of course, I need to flip everything around. And by the way, if it's shit. Yeah, I actually need to find the abs. So we're gonna do abs of that. And now I'm gonna be like if, and you know what? It needs to not go to -1. That's another thing. It needs to be max 0 or this. So it clamps to 0, right? But here's the thing. If do I have sine? No, I don't have a sine. So it needs to be stdmath sine, a sine of raw input. Yeah, this is not gonna work. Wait. I think I need to abs the raw input, right? If it's a sine, then return abs, else return minus abs, I think. Am I correct? You know what? Let's just output. This can be written by like this. Expected type bool found f32. Yeah, if it's more than 0. Is my logic correct? Hopefully. What? Any type. Type of I, any type. Wow, this is crazy. Okay. But I think this is not going to work because it's just, if this is minus. So I have to abs this thing. Not the whole thing, right? I think so. Anyway, let's try this. Oh yeah, let me actually add it. Stop this. Stop. Okay. I want to add the roll input. Axis input. Also, let me move this up to here because it's with the input. Axis input and the raw input axis and axis input. Yeah, I should rename this to key. Let's rename this to key axis input. And this is called axis input. Yeah. So yeah, let me output the value to the GUI, which is here. Let me add a little hashtag GUI so that I know where it is. For each of the axes, yeah, and I'm gonna output another one. I'm gonna say ig slider float, and that's gonna be roll input, and let's make it roll asl, but it needs to be mutable. That sucks. Oh, it is actually mutable, yeah, because we made it. Value of type bool is ignored again, and we're just going to do that. All right. So let's see, how does the roll input work? There it is. We have some dead zone. You see, it's not actually. You see that axis 4. I'm pointing with my finger on the screen. It's kind of ridiculous that you can't see it. You can see it's inverted, but axis 4 has a lot of noise around 0. But if you look at the roll input at the bottom, it actually starts much later and it goes all the way to 0.84 instead of 1. So that's a problem. That's a problem. It should not go to 0.8. It should go all the way to 1. So my maths is completely incorrect. Well, not completely, but somewhat incorrect. So what did I get wrong? What did I get wrong? Axis input. I said raw input 1 plus dead zone by 2. Yeah, my calculations clearly don't go all the way to the top, don't go all the way to the 1. So what did I get wrong? In this case where it goes to 0.5, right? It needs to, yeah, well, here's the thing. This is not a very precise drawing. It's not a very precise drawing. I guess all we need to do is lerp. Is there a way to draw straight lines? No. Oh, there's events still running in the background. Sketchpad. Whoa, what the hell is this? What the hell happened? How did I manage to hover this? I don't know. Somehow. What? Look at this. You drag, but it's the image is inverted. I don't know if you can see actually. I don't know if you can see, but for some reason the text is inverted. Left to right. I don't understand why. No, actually it's upside down. It's upside down. I think this is one of those DirectX inverted stuff. Canva. Okay, let's do Canva. No, use draw. hello Villa Love 00. What do you think about Rust replacing C++? It's not gonna replace C++. Like C++ is gonna go on for forever. It's ridiculous to think that. Okay, why is there a line here? Okay, I want to have a line. What? Why does it draw a line for me? Okay, that's kind of ridiculous. Okay, so what? Why does it create a line for me? This is ridiculous. Okay, I don't know. I never used Canva. So this is one, right? What I want to do is I want to draw a line from here. I want to draw a line. Line type, straight. Please, no. I guess this is how you do it here. I want to draw a line that goes from this or moves down like this. So if it's at 1, if it's 0, 5, it needs to be multiplied by 2. That's clear. So, maybe I just need to divide. Is that it? Do I divide by 0, 1? What happens if you divide 1 by 0, 1? I don't think that's good. That's 10. So no, that's not the correct answer. The correct answer is to multiply it with 1 plus that much. Yeah, and it's always the same. You can see that it's exactly the same. No, it's not the same. Okay, it moves up. Why am I so stupid? Why am I so stupid right now? And this is not even 0.25. I think there is a square root somewhere. Do you have not color paint or something? Online paint tool seems cursed. Yeah, I don't. Not on Linux. Maybe there is some kind of I don't know. I never actually used paint type tool on Linux. It says graphics, but I have Krita, but Krita is kind of like Photoshop drawing. I just want to have like a super simple drawing thing. Maybe you can find me some Linux thing. So yeah, what I actually want to do is I want to lerp from -0, 1 to 1. Or I want to inverse lerp. Right? I want to give it 0 to 1. And I want it to convert from that. No, actually, I don't want to do that. Why is this so difficult? I just want to move the dead zone. That's all I want. I want to move the dead zone to 0, 2. So yeah, if I move it wait. I think I got it. I'm multiplying the offset value. Yeah, I'm moving the offset value. I should not be moving the offset value. I should take the original value and add and multiply it with this. I should take the yeah, this should actually come before. It should be more like this. So I have the raw input, and then I multiply it with this, and then I move it down. I think that's it. I think that's where I got it wrong. And there's a problem. Binary operator. This is not a binary operator. Okay, this is it. What's Linux distro are you using? I'm using Arch, by the way. Okay, let's see if the roll input. Yeah, the roll input now goes to -1. To -1, and yeah, now it's correct. And the dead zone works. Cool, cool. I didn't have to do anything much except kill the dead zone, which is very sensitive about 1. So let's do the same thing with pitch as well. So let's see, roll input, roll ASL. It's called roll ASL. There it is. And pitch. Oh, I am actually already sanitizing the pitch. I'm just not outputting it. Do I need to sanitize the yaw? Let's do it as well. So something like that. And what about the Y? Yeah, so we have a big problem here because for some reason it happens right at the beginning. Right? Yeah, the roll input. Yeah, the flight. Oh my God, flight is so much easier now, right now. Yeah, it doesn't have this. Like if I don't hold the sticks, it just flies straight. It totally works. And we have the pitch, we have the roll, and we need to do the yaw is very unstable as well, but that's good. That's all fine. And finally, we have the funny thing is that the acceleration is actually fine. It doesn't need to be smoothed or anything. Man, this makes it really nice to fly. All right. So, what does Furizen says? Should be able to install it with color paint. You don't want to install anything. I don't know. Yeah, let's install color paint. Color paint. Let's see. Two providers available. Fmpeg does it. Okay. Whoa, it's 160 megabytes. Why? What? Why does it need so many things? Kite my views. Kjob. It also needs Fmpeg stuff. That's crazy. And is it like super simple paint tool? Like it needs all these things? That's crazy. It's by KDE, so maybe that's why it's bloated. Yeah. Ah, I see. Well, this is a X-Face. Is there an X-Face painter or something? Is there a problem like Microsoft Paint? Pinta. Eye candy. Okay, let's try Pinta. Let's know. Pinta. What is this? Target not found. Let's see. Maybe it's on Yay, but I'm kind of something like MS Paint, Paint for Linux. Let's try to find something else. Pinta is fine. It's written in C Sharp. Oh no, I really don't want to down. You know, if anything that uses C Sharp, you need to get like 2 GB of net stuff, .NET stuff, and it's so fucking annoying. GIMP is an overkill. I mean, I already have Krita, so. But yeah, I kind of want to do something super simple. GPaint. GPaint. What's GPaint? That sounds very simple. Simple to use. Oh my god, I love it. I love it. Look how simple this is. It's for GNOME. So I don't know if that's gonna work. Paint for X color paint, which is perfect. Yeah, it does have color paint, but that's my paint, GNU paint, Tux paint, created for children. Why doesn't Pinta exist in the? Maybe if I say Arch, it's gonna give me something. I guess it exists in on Yay or something. Yeah, of course it does. Pinta drawing program modeled after paint.net. Yeah. Is there no simple thing? Tux paint. Okay, what is Tux paint? Yeah, this looks ridiculous. Now I want to make a simple sketch thing for X-Face. Eye candy for your drawings, paintings. I don't know. If you find one, tell me. But I got that. Okay. Anyway. Time to write a paint program. Yeah. And if I would write a paint program, I would just use Sokol. I would just do this. I would have like I would have it have a ImGUI interface and everything. And like, who needs anything more than that, right? Hi, in Zig, do people use arena-based allocators? Right now, I'm using a page allocator, which is just a malloc, but I never used an arena allocator myself. I usually use a GPA, which is the general purpose allocator. And the cool thing about the GPA is that it can track your leaks. But yeah, that's the one I use most of the time. But I've actually never used an arena. I don't know. I guess people usually, I guess most people use arena. I don't know. Now, the weird thing is that the role input is actually reversed. I guess I should reverse it in here. And yeah, let me actually show all the inputs in the GUI. Float sliders. Let's do here ig text. Inputs. And I'm gonna do that. Let's see, role. I can write it like this, and I can move it away from the keyboard because it's not relevant to the keyboard. Let's do role. We're gonna roll pitch yaw. and this is going to be yaw pitch. And finally we have throttle. I don't know how this is called. The propeller power. Axle, and that's gonna, I call it the Y axle or axle. And that one will go from 0 to 1. Okay. But yeah, actually it should be going, yeah, it should be going from 0 to 1 because it is actually normalized. These are not normalized. All right. So yeah, let's see what it happens. I am new to, so Chandu16 says GPA is Zig allocator. Yeah, it is. It is a Zig allocator. Yeah, and most of the examples in Zig actually use the general purpose allocator. Okay, so there it is. We have yaw, it works, and it's also flipped around. Pitch. Yeah, I guess I need to flip the roll. I need to flip the yaw. And yeah, throttle is fine. So throttle goes from 0 to 1. That's good. Okay. Looks good. Looks good. So it says you use thread pooling. I don't use any threads. That's the thing. How do you do concurrency or multi-threading? I don't do it. I did some simple tests, but most of the time I don't. I don't really need it because my games are so small and they work fast. And Zig is already optimized, super optimized, that I don't use other threads for now. But I'm probably gonna use it at some point. I'm new to non-GC languages. What have you done before? Are you the one who asked me about Rust? No. Someone else asked me about Rust. C#. Ah, I see. Yeah, C# is like garbage collected, and so cool. You just followed me. Nice. Yeah, it's a little bit. Well, I did before Zig. I did C++, so I'm kind of used to thinking about what you allocate and when you free and memory and stuff. But yeah, in Zig, it's even more. It's even more important. Oh, I don't know how to exactly make sure that throttle is. Let me see what happens in the very beginning. What happens in the very beginning? Yeah, if I move throttle even slightly, it will reset. So I need to wait for the first throttle response. And why does it default to 0.5? I have absolutely no idea. I have absolutely no idea. I think that everything actually. I think that actually everything defaults to the middle in this controller thing, because the steering should be in the middle. That is correct. But everything else, like the throttle and the brake, the axis 2 and 5 should not be in the middle. It should be at the 0. I think I had this problem as well in Shakedown. So maybe I need to grab this. Yeah, anyway, let's log this. Let's get this. Commit, I don't know, added dead zoned input processing. There we go. So yeah, now it's actually flyable. But yeah, let's flip the roll and yaw. Because right now, key axis input. I know what's the problem. I know what's the problem. And the problem is that my negative input is first. Should be first, and I did it second. So that's my bad. It should be the other way around. Yeah, and let's actually make this let's flip it around as well. So yeah, positive should come later. That kind of makes more sense. What the hell is going on? Control C, copy. Control V. Okay, now it works. And this of course should be -1 key axis input, and now we're gonna flip these around because this negative should be false and this should be true. For y-ASL, for pitch we need pitch is actually correct, I think, right? Because going down, no, yeah, this one left right, your ASL is left right. Yeah, now this is negative and this is as well negative. Yeah, so now it should actually be flipped around. So when I add your, there it is, and I should not minus it. And roll, interestingly, I think it should be roll should be done because it is the other way around. Because in OpenGL convention, z-axis is pointing backwards. So I'm actually looking backwards. That's why roll should be flipped around. Everything else should be fine. Okay, so I think that now I don't flip anything around anymore, right? Let's try. Why are you learning Zig? What is the advantage? Overlay CBP or C or Rust? I have so many talks on this. You should go and find Notke Zig, Intro to Zig, where I explain all the differences. Yeah, it is complicated, but in short, Zig is super... Zig is kind of like C, but with a lot of foot guns removed. Foot guns meaning ways to shoot yourself in the foot, which is why it's really nice. And it's just like a very kind of a simple language, which can be learned very quickly if you know C. And it has same defaults. It has a great tool chain. You can write the build scripts in Zig and everything. And I don't know, it's so nice. It's just, you can cross compile from any platform to any platform. Yeah, really nice language, and it compiles super fast, much faster than C++. Anyway, yeah, so everything works. Yaw works, throttle works, pitch works, roll works, and the roll is correct, the pitch is correct, the yaw looks correct I'm talking about the GUI. And the throttle is correct. Cool. So we have all the stuff working. And you know what? Actually, yeah, I need to disable this throttle somehow so that it doesn't start with 0.5. Yeah, and the way I can do this is, let's see if there is actually some kind of a function to handle this. Is there a function? Device attach, device remove, device access move. No, I think that by default everything is access per row. Yeah, I think I need to just hard code this for the Xbox controller. I guess I'm gonna have to do something like var input something like gamepad input y input throttle, and that's gonna be f32 0. And so when I actually have this axis move, I'm gonna, I have to check if axis ID is 5, right? I think so. Then I'm gonna set the gamepad input throttle to value, right? And I think that's the one. Yeah, and it needs to be, of course, state. And this one is now used. Let's just comment it out. And I have to use this one in here instead of the axis states. So let's see if this gamepad state gamepad input throttle. Let's see if this works. Maybe it's not even gonna work. What is the C project you're looking at? It doesn't work because it gets initialized to 0.5. I guess it gets initialized to 0.5 automatically. So maybe after the init, after it gets attached, after the input gets attached, on device attached, I need to set this to 0 so it doesn't. Nope, it still goes up to 0.5. Why is that happening? Why is that happening? Okay, let me check. Let me log this again. And I need to comment this one out. This one is so boring. The C project that I'm looking at is the gamepad. That's the library that I'm including into Zig project right now. Yeah. So what is going on here? Xbox. It did not detect any things yet. That is so strange. What the fuck is going on? Why does it default to 0.5? What's going on here? Okay, what if I make it... Okay, let's actually make sure that the frame input state input gamepad throttle is 0. What? What is going on? Okay. Is it because I'm actually... This is not 0. Yeah, I made a mistake. I made a big mistake here. It's because I'm adding this to 1. So what I actually need to do, I need to make this -1 at the beginning, not 0. Right, I think so. I think I need to make this -1. And let's not do this. What does it say? Overlay. Why are you learning Zig over CVP or C or Rust? Rust is way too complicated. Physics is really good in your game. There it is. It works now. So if I run the throttle, there it is. Cool. In this case, I am actually using Jolt physics. But, of course, I am adding forces myself. But this is under the hood. This is Jolt, in case you're wondering. Cool. Okay, so now the throttle defaults to -1, which is good. Well, I mean the input states. So, but how can I know this beforehand? Probably I can't. Probably I can't. So I'm gonna have to make some kind of a config for everything. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, this only works for Xbox 360, which sucks. But yeah, this now is cool. Okay, let me remove the info. Axis moved. Yeah, this one. And I need to this. Well, I wish I could fly. There we go. I think we got it right. I think stuff works. Okay, so what happens now? Look at this. Let's try this thing. Okay, let's try this crazy thing. What if I reach out to my USB receptacle and I unplug? Come on, unplug. Unplug. Ah, general protection exception. There it is. It has crashed. Perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. And why did I want it? Okay, let me plug it back in. Why did I want it? Yes, of course, because it's like Jew. I've never actually seen this thing. It says general protection exception. No address available. Dronesim access states. Yeah, this one doesn't exist anymore. This one doesn't exist anymore. And what am I doing here? Axis 1. Num axis. Yeah, num axis no longer exists because the attached gamepad becomes null. And why is that? It is because I'm not handling detached state. So I need to make sure that I handle the detached state as well. Let's see. Commit. Let me commit this, and I'm gonna say, what did I actually change? Wait, what did I change? Ah, yeah. No longer throttle for Xbox 360. No longer defaults to 0.5. Got that done. Okay. Add gameplay. Oh, look at that. Add gameplay support. I did it. I did it already. Okay. But we're continuing. So what did I want to do now? I wanted to handle detachment. So let's copy this thing We have frame. No, where is init? Let's jump to init. Gamepad. We have another function which is called gamepad device attach remove func, and this one is gonna be this one has exactly the same signature as the on device attached, but we're gonna call it on device detached. Is it C? Is it TCH? No, I think it's CH. And context, let's just call it null. I don't know, I have no idea what context is still. And we're just gonna copy this function and we're gonna add detached here. Detached. And here's the thing, right? We have the device pointer, and the device pointer, if the device pointer is the same as my state device, gamepad, then we're gonna nullify the attached gamepad is null, and that's basically it. Number of buttons and everything else, we don't need anything else. There it is. Okay, so hopefully by making this null, then everything else is gonna be handled, right? Unless in GUI I'm not actually checking if the gamepad exists. Am I checking? I think I am checking. For sure I'm checking. Okay, I can't find it now, but I did put a hashtag GUI here. Okay, so there it is. We have the gamepad, we can fly around, we can do stuff, and then we unplug the controller, and it's still working. Hey, it's still working. Look at that. GUI is actually showing the correct stuff. And look at this. I can actually use the keyboard to fly now. Woo! So there you go. Detaching the gamepad totally works. So what happens if I reattach the gamepad now? If I reattach the gamepad, what's going to happen? Come on, attach yourself. There it is, attached. And nothing has happened. Nothing has happened. Okay, why is it not working? Interesting. Is there anything else which is like, okay, detaching, nothing, attaching again, nothing. Okay, so maybe there's another function that I'm missing here. Am I missing another function which is something in between? Attach, remove, axis move, gamepad init. No. Interesting. So I don't know, maybe this is a bug in the system. Okay, what happens if I attach for the first time? If I run this again. Okay, nothing is attached. We plug this in and nothing has happened. Interesting. It doesn't even give me a info like this one. Interesting. So why does this happen? Maybe it's because I think I know, because I need to actually call this detect devices. This is the thing. So occasionally you have to call detect devices from time to time. Okay. Iterations to next poll. Poll iteration interval. Let's see how often is it? 30. So I guess every 30 frames a second it will check. We could do something like that as well. Handling detached. Let's add handling detachment. No longer crashes when detached. When kbed detached. Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna put some kind of a var here, which is gonna be check step. No, what did they call it? Iterations to check. Iterations. Iterations to next poll. Iterations to next gamepad poll. Okay, and let's make it 0. So if, yeah, let's make this const iterations to wait for gamepad poll. And yeah, let's make it 30. Or no, let's have a full second between them. Iterations to wait for gamepad poll. Iterations 2. So I'm gonna add every frame. Where is the frame? Yeah, there it is. Input process events. I'm gonna, if iterations to next poll is more than state iterations to wait. It's a weird thing. And in this function, I'm going to add iterations. Oh yeah, this should be state iterations. Just next input plus equals 1. And if, oh yeah, no, it should be added every time. But if it's bigger, then make it 0. And now we are gonna what? We're gonna gamepad process events. No. Detect devices. There it is. Okay, so hopefully this works. So the Xbox is right now connected. And it has one error. What it says, variable of comp time int must be const or comp time. Iterations, I should make it some type that is not const. So we're gonna make it a U16. I can actually even make it a U8 because it's not gonna go more than 255. But it's kind of a necessary optimization, to be honest, because there's only one. All right, so this now works, right? The gamepad works. I'm gonna detach it. Boom, it has detached. I'm gonna reattach it. And boom, there it is. We have both handling of attachment and detachment, and now I can fly around. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Nice. All right. So with that thing, I think I'm gonna, oh my god, it's 3 a.m. already. I think with that, I'm gonna end the stream. How many viewers are there? 6 viewers, okay. I think I did a great job today. I did not expect to get everything so smoothly working. It's not actually really smooth on stream at full screen. This I'm actually running on a ThinkCenter, like a super. I bought it for 50 euros, like a tiny computer. It's supposed to be like just used for servers, really, but I'm now using it as a Zig building machine and like super simple gameplay machine. So yeah, there you go. I can handle access. The annoying thing is that this only now works for Linux because I did not build it for anything else. This only works for Linux, and it also works only for Xbox 360 controller because everything is hard coded. So the next challenge is to actually make it compatible with other controllers as well. And that's a big challenge. But yeah, this feels so cool to fly around. Yeah, with like super small and simple game. Let's not hit this. Yeah, I feel so weird that everything is like flipped around, but this is the realistic controller. I would much prefer to have pitch and roll on the left stick actually than the right stick. I'm much more precise on the left. I wonder if real FPV drones you can rebind, or you just have to get used to having it on the right thumb. Right. So I don't know. Should I go on a bit? I feel like I'm gonna be sleepy in like 20 minutes, but not yet. Should I try to make a config file, or should I wait for the next? Yeah, let's do that on the next stream. So on the next stream, I want to make a config file to handle all the different inputs, all the different gamepads. But yeah, this is working really well. I'm so glad that I got the C library to compile and to integrate it with Zig. That's pretty cool, I have to say. Right, so until the next stream, I might actually stream tomorrow. I'll see. Oh, I reached the beginning. This is the beginning of the map. Let's try to land on one of the buildings in the meantime. So yeah, until the next stream, I think it's probably going to be tomorrow. Might be tomorrow. The weird thing is that, yeah, well, I just fell off. I fell off the building. But yeah, the weird thing is that the throttle is actually, like the drone is facing forward, like the camera is facing upwards, let's say. So you're actually flying straight like this, right? And if you want to be really precise at landing, it's a bit difficult because you're also going forward at the same time as up. So you kind of have to do this. There it is. I managed to land. Yeah, and if you want to like fly straight up, it's a bit weird. So the only thing that works right now is it goes forward and it goes upwards. And I am told that this is exactly how it works in real drones as well. Oh Jesus, very easy to fall. Yeah, I can't wait to add some GLTF loading. That's one of the things that I want to add as well. And then I can make any kind of a world, not just cubes. And I should be able to add textures as well. What I would really love to do also is to make an independent Zig-based gamepad library. Now that I have it building in C, it would be really nice to rewrite for to Zig, or at least build so it works with a C library. And you know, just have a very light wrapper around everything. Okay, anyway, I think that's enough for today. Hope you enjoyed the stream. And until next time, see you. There it is. I landed on top of the building. Hope that was good. And by the way, I'm also gonna push this. I'm gonna push after I finish the stream, and you can try it yourself in the branch called, what is the name of it? In the branch called Gamepad Support, except you have to be on Linux, 64-bit Linux, for it to actually work. Yeah, and yeah, let me commit this. Handling disconnects, handling reconnections. But yeah, it only supports one gamepad right now. Cool, that's it. Yeah, see you next time. Bye bye.